Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, VC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. So this morning, reading in Proverbs 13, I read this verse. It's a verse that gets used all the time when it's talking about children and parents and all of the raising up of your child, right? It's a familiar verse for anybody that's been in the church. It's a familiar verse also for even people that just quasi say they're a Christian, especially if you're in a home where there's strict discipline and they want the reason behind it. The verse is Proverbs 13, verse 24. The one who will not use the rod hates his son. Or it often is read this way: he that spareth the rod hateth his son, or hateth his child. Right? The one who will not use the rod hates his son, but the one who loves him disciplines him diligently, or disciplines him quickly. First of all, it took me a really long time to overcome the word discipline, because I always heard discipline as beating, as punishment, as pain. And I learned very quickly that the reality is discipline is a loving correction. And sometimes that is painful. That is true. But as I was reading this morning, I realized something. It's so much broader. David, Solomon, Paul, Peter, all of them knew this. So much broader than just your children. It's not about taking a whip to the boy because he was mouthing off to mom. Now, that might be appropriate, assuming it's been addressed correctly in the right ways, and I wouldn't recommend a whip, quite honestly. But a bare hand on a bottom, that's probably not a bad thing on occasion. But here is the truth. The one who will not use the rod hates his son. You know, Paul called Timothy his spiritual son. And Solomon says, the one who loves disciplines quickly. Don't let it sit. Don't let it run rampant. Don't let it sit and just fester. Get it corrected right now. And if it means a little bit of harshness in your voice, or a little bit of harshness in your correction, some real sternness in the way you deal with it. Now, clearly, as a pastor, I can't take a congregation member that is gone off the deep end and decided that they're going to just give up on living a life of purity in the sexual way and go off and live with someone else. I can't put them over my knee and paddle their butt to get their attention. But it also means that I don't condone it. Love them. Don't condone it. Don't tell them that what they're doing is okay. And quite honestly, as a pastor, if I'm listening to this and seeing my congregation as my spiritual sons and daughters, then I also need to correct them and not let them do things that they might be able to do. As a child, I was grounded many times and not allowed to go do the things that were my right. I had earned the right to go to the football game, or I had earned the right to drive my car, because I had grown and developed to the point where my parents gave me that right. But then I had to be corrected, and those privileges, which I called rights, but were privileges, were revoked for a period. This is what we have to remember so many times. It's not just about when we're corrected. We have to understand that the correction is coming from someone who sees us as their spiritual son or daughter, and they're doing a correcting because they love us. But also, if you have put yourself in a position to make a son or daughter by sharing the good news, you have a responsibility as well. This walk is critical. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day.